What's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here with the Lowdown, Pickdawgz.com. Make sure you're checking it out. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Just talking with some of the guys. I just went on the morning show with Jay, Costi, and Chris. Had a good time doing that this morning. And again, it kind of lets you know when I'm recording this. I saw some messages. I record so early that it does make it difficult to get you the correct pitchers that are going to be playing. And on top of it, even some of the correct numbers. Like, you'll have an idea of some of the numbers that are coming out. But when I'm handicapping and I'm going to give out a play that I'm actually going to put my money on, it's going to have everything included in it as far as my handicap, and whether it's using the algorithms, following the money, looking at line movements. I mean, all those things that I've been doing for years and putting it all together. And it's encompassed into one of the best weekends I've had. And it's kind of nice that it happens here at Pickdawgz and everybody can see what I do in baseball. But like 14-4 over the last 4 days, I won every single package, including some of the 5-star, or what I call them, 5-run home run package where it's 5 plays. I went 4-1 in those 3 times, I believe. So, I don't know, just a really nice weekend. Hit the last 4 NBA games. My top play was the under in the finals, Game 7. What else? I mean, the WNBA's been very good to me, so we've been putting up packages up there, and the guys told me this morning, code PICK will get you 15% off if you guys want to check out any of the things that we have over there. A lot of cappers doing great things, man. I'm just watching and seeing the wins pile up for everyone. So, and I even made the mistake of going on the morning show because every day I'm researching the day of and the next day as I'm handicapping. And it's funny because this morning I started talking about Tuesday's game for the Orioles with Charlie Morton starting, which we're going to get into here, as opposed to Monday's game. And then I had to cover up my research for tomorrow. I don't know, it's a hot mess because if you guys see how I work, I'm so old-fashioned. These are all the papers I write on. Some of them are my show sheets from work. I was actually off work on Monday because went to the Mumford & Sons concert in Baltimore on Sunday night, and whew, buddy, was it a good time. Just had a great time. My one of my best friends, the best man at my wedding, fainted in line. And he was gone for like 40 minutes. And my wife was like, where's Nate? So I sent a text, and he sends me a text back. He's like, hey, can you come back to the medical tent? I fainted at the beer garden. And he busted up his face, his wrist, his arms, his shoulder. He said he doesn't even remember what happened. He just fainted. It was really hot. So, of course, me being the nice friend that I am, I was trying to make sure that he was okay, that he had plenty of fluids. And I said, have you eaten anything today besides the pavement about 20 minutes ago? And he's like, you're a dick. And he's right. But with friends like these, who needs enemies, right? One of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And so I'm going to continue to bust his balls for fainting in line. All right, let's get into the games today. Again, sometimes these will be brief. Sometimes I'm going to go a little bit longer. It all depends on the day. You guys will hear me talk about stadiums. There are certain stadiums that are retractable roofs. I'll try to list it and make sure you guys know that. But if there is weather outside of said stadium and there's a chance that the roof might be open, I do want to inform people of that because I think it's a huge advantage that a lot of people won't take into consideration. Anytime Arizona opens up that roof, it's just a bump to bats right off the bat. The wind, the heat, it's just crazy. So, and just speaking of it, we have a couple of games today that have a lot of that similar weather. So let's just get into it. Texas Rangers at Baltimore Orioles. Right now it's Charlie Morton versus TBD. We don't know who the Rangers are going to start, if they'll go to some sort of bullpen game. Somebody's coming off the IL. I tried to go to a couple different sites, and I didn't even see a projected starter, so maybe that depends on how Monday's game goes as well, and if they're going to call somebody up, no idea. But the one thing I'll tell you is in Baltimore, there's no help from the wind, but it feels like it's 103 degrees outside, and anytime it's really hot here, it can kind of get crazy with the baseballs. They'll fly out of the ballpark. I've talked about how the humidity picks up if there's any precipitation, any type of sometimes you get that in the air without the rain. With the humidity, but when it rains and it's hot, the humidity just goes through the roof. I mean, just sitting I think I said a couple of times at the Mumford & Sons concert, who poured applesauce down my pants. I mean, I was sweating my ass off. But with this game, there is one thing to kind of look at, and it's Charlie Morton. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this was like some 80s movie where he and somebody else touched a baseball at the same time and traded powers. But God, he was the worst pitcher in baseball for the first month and a half, whatever. Got moved to the bullpen, comes back out, and since June, he's been maybe the best pitcher in baseball. It just sounds stupid, guys, I know, but he's been striking out guys left and right. and he's been virtually unhittable. And the reason that I would say I lean Orioles in the Tuesday matchup, even without knowing who the Rangers are trying. Now, Rangers have been a light hitting team. You'd expect more offensively. They fired their hitting coach at the beginning of the year just because they weren't hitting. I watched Corey Seager against Bailey Falter the other day. He looked lost, and he's one of the best hitters in baseball. But you look at this lineup, and I think it's a little wanting at times. And Morton, with the power that they have from the right side, as long as he can kind of, make his way through Corey Seager and not give up a long ball to him and let him beat him, I think he can handle this lineup. So I would lean towards the Orioles in this game. Again, not knowing the other pitcher, I don't want to lean towards a total, but the way Charlie Morton's been pitching, they'd never won any game that he pitched in through his first 8 times pitching. And then now they haven't lost since he's pitched. So do with that what you will, but I would lean Orioles. Next game, Blue Jays and Guardians. So here's what we have. 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. It feels like 90 degrees. And we have a battle of the soft-tossing lefties. That's Eric Lauer for the Blue Jays, former Brewers pitcher, and Logan Allen, who, these guys might be throwing fastballs around 88, 89 miles an hour today. And maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Logan Allen can get some strikeouts, but both of them can limit contact and get ground ball outs with the soft contact and have guys pounding it into the dirt. I'm still going to tell you to take the under here. As I'm looking at it, I just feel like both of these guys can limit damage. Neither one are big strikeout pitchers, but that's good because the Blue Jays strike out less than anybody in baseball. And when you look at Cleveland, they've kind of done the same thing. They haven't been a big strikeout team. Their numbers may be a little skewed this year, but year after year, they were a team in the top 5 of least amount of strikeouts from an at-bat standpoint. And on top of it, I really do like this Cleveland bullpen. I think the Blue Jays have some live arms there too. Not that I'm going to sit here and tell you to be overwhelmed by the Blue Jays bullpen, but I would lean under in this matchup. Let's go A's and Tigers. We've got swirling winds at 7 miles an hour. And one of the reasons why I really wanted to bring this game up, the winds are, as I said, swirling. They're blowing in to start off the game in the first hour. And then in the 7 o'clock hour, because they start at, 6 something, I believe, or whatever it is, the hour after that, and looking at the way it sets up, all of a sudden, then the wind's blowing left to right. And by the time you get to the back end of the bullpen, the wind's blowing out. So this is one of those games, it feels like it's 90 degrees there, that I would tell you to more than likely stay away from if you're looking at it from a weather standpoint. Now, not everything has to be bet according to the weather, and there are some times that I fade it. But this is Tarek Skubal and Luis Severino. Severino can limit damage at times, but he's given up some hard contact, which does worry me. But with the wind, I think that should help him as a fly ball pitcher. Tarek Skubal in his last outing loaded the bases in the first inning, looked like he was going to get beat up, and then just locked in and shut him down the rest of the way and won the game. So, again, this is another underlean for me as I'm looking at these two pitchers and the matchups that we have. I think with the wind blowing in and then again it's swirling, by the time we get to the bullpens, that back end of the A's bullpen is really nice, and the Tigers have one of the best bullpens in baseball. So I think the under is a solid play. My free play, we're going to go to Seattle and Minnesota. This is another game where all weekend I was saying over. I think there were a couple times that I bet 5 overs. The one day we had 4 overs, 1 under. That was the Noah Cameron game where the Royals game went under against the Padres. I think that was Dylan Cease against him. Again, because of how I'm doing this, a lot of this stuff runs together. So if I make a mistake, you guys can correct me on it. I'm sure you will. But the wind's blowing in at about 6 miles an hour at 75 degrees. I'm going to give the free play as an under. It's Luis Castillo and Chris Paddack. And I don't know if you guys remember, Chris Paddack was up for Rookie of the Year along with Pete Alonso, and then they faced each other late in the season when Paddack was with the Padres. And I think Alonso took him yard, and that led to Pete Alonso winning the Rookie of the Year. Chris Paddack was supposed to be this up-and-coming pitcher, and he just never turned into that. And in fact, since joining the Twins, it's almost like he's had to reinvent himself. He gets more ground balls. It's not like he can't hump it up there and get some strikeouts from time to time. And this Seattle lineup strikes out as much or more than almost every team in the league. And with Luis Castillo, if you're watching this Twins team, I think I want right-handers against them. I want to try to limit what Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa and a lot of those righties that they have all throughout their lineup and what they can do. So, I like having a righty against them. And Luis Castillo, look, the guy's been one of the better pitchers in baseball over the past 5-6 years. He's very, very solid. So, again, the free play today is going to be on the under. I think it's a good spot to go to. Make sure you're liking and subscribing again, guys, and checking out the website, the premium plays. So many great things going on over there. I'm not trying to take out that third arm and pat myself in the back, but knowing myself over the years, when I get on a heater, you want to ride it until the wheels fall off, because I tend to get hot and I get in this zone. The same way, if I'm on one of those cold streaks, stay the hell away from me. Nobody likes to admit that, but I do. I get very streaky, and I can make up a lot in a short period of time to help my bankroll throughout the year in some of these situations. And as I've said, baseball's been my best sport the past 5 years. Nobody likes admitting that, because I think I'm really good at football, basketball, college sports, whatever. But baseball, as soon as I started mixing in the weather stuff to go along with my handicapping, it just took me to a totally different level. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully you check it out on the website. You'll see me up there. Go check out the record. I'm not BSing you, so you can see how we're doing in baseball. Been hitting above 65%, and the weather play of the day is on a streak right now as well. So, yeah, hopefully we see you guys over there buying some packages. If not, keep checking out the show, and we'll throw out a few winners here as well. So we'll see you tomorrow.